Listen to me very carefully. I am about to tell you something that could be the difference between living comfortably in retirement and watching your savings evaporate right before your eyes. I have spent decades building businesses, investing in markets, and making money work for people. I have seen every kind of market crash, every kind of economic disaster, and I can tell you right now, we are standing on the edge of something that most people are completely unprepared for. And if you are retired or getting close to retirement, you need to pay attention to every single word I am about to say. Before we go any further, I need you to do something for me. Hit that subscribe button right now. This is not just another finance channel. This is where I tell you the truth that the big institutions do not want you to hear. Become a member of this community because we are going to navigate these dangerous waters together. Now, let us get into it. You know what really gets me fired up? It is watching people who have worked their entire lives, who have saved every dollar they could, who have done everything right, get absolutely crushed by forces they do not understand. I am talking about retirees. I am talking about people who thought they were safe because they listened to their financial advisor who put them in a traditional portfolio of stocks and bonds. They thought they were diversified. They thought they were protected. And you know what? They are dead wrong. Here is what nobody is telling you. The financial system as we know it is changing faster than at any time in modern history. We have got inflation that is eating away at your purchasing power like termites in a wooden house. We have got a government that is printing money like it is going out of style. We have got geopolitical tensions that are making the world a much more dangerous place for your investments. And in the middle of all of this chaos, there is one asset that has protected wealth for thousands of years: silver. Now, I know what you are thinking. Kevin, why are you talking about silver? What about gold? What about real estate? What about tech stocks? Listen, I am not saying those things do not have a place in your portfolio. What I am saying is that silver is the most undervalued, misunderstood, and critically important asset that retirees are completely ignoring. And that is a massive mistake. Let me explain something to you about silver that most people do not understand. Silver is not just a precious metal. It is an industrial metal. That means it has dual demand. You have got investors buying it as a store of value, just like gold. But you have also got industries that absolutely cannot function without it. Solar panels, electric vehicles, electronics, medical devices, water purification, all of these things require silver. And here is the kicker. Unlike gold, which mostly just sits in vaults, silver gets used up. It gets consumed. That creates a supply and demand dynamic that is unlike anything else in the precious metals market. Right now, we are in a situation where demand for silver is skyrocketing while supply is getting tighter and tighter. The mines are not producing enough new silver to keep up with industrial demand. And at the same time, you have got investors who are waking up to the fact that their paper currencies are becoming worth less and less every single day. They are looking for real assets. They are looking for things that cannot be printed by a central bank. And that is driving them straight to precious metals. But here's what makes silver different from gold. Gold is expensive. If you want to buy an ounce of gold right now, you are looking at paying a significant amount of money. For a retiree on a fixed income, that can be a tough pill to swallow. But silver is affordable. You can start building a position in silver without breaking the bank. You can buy physical silver, coins, bars, and hold real, tangible wealth in your hand. And that affordability makes it accessible to everyone, especially retirees who need to protect what they have got without taking massive risks. Now, let me tell you why this matters right now, today, not 5 years from now. We are living in an environment where your savings are under attack. Every single day, inflation is stealing your purchasing power. The grocery bill that used to be $100 is now $150. The gas that used to cost $3 a gallon is now $4 or $5. Your healthcare costs are going through the roof. And what is your savings account paying you? Maybe 1%, maybe 2% if you are lucky. That is not even close to keeping up with real inflation. Your bond portfolio, forget about it. When interest rates go up, bond values go down. You are getting killed on both ends. And your stock portfolio, sure, maybe it has had some good years, but we are at valuations that are historically high. When the correction comes, and it will come, retirees get hurt the worst because they do not have time to recover. They do not have another 30 years to wait for the market to bounce back. They need their money now. This is where silver comes in as your shield. Silver is real money. It has been money for thousands of years. When currencies collapse, when governments fail, when markets crash, silver holds its value. It is a tangible asset that you can hold in your hand. It is not a promise from a bank. It is not a piece of paper. It is real wealth. And here is something else that people are not talking about. The financial system is becoming more and more fragile. We are seeing bank failures. We are seeing pension funds getting into trouble. We are seeing countries around the world moving away from the dollar as the reserve currency. What does that mean for you? It means that the system you have relied on your whole life might not be there when you need it most. I have been investing for decades. I have seen every kind of market. And I can tell you the smart money is moving into real assets. They are moving into things that cannot be manipulated by central banks. And silver is at the top of that list. But you have got to understand the bigger picture here. This is not just about making money. This is about protecting what you have already earned. This is about making sure that when you are 80 years old, you can still afford your medication. You can still put food on the table. You can still live with dignity. The elites, the people who run the big banks, the people who control the financial system, they know all of this. They are buying physical assets. They are protecting themselves, but they do not want you to know about it because they need you to keep your money in the system. They need you to keep buying their stocks and their bonds so they can make their fees. They do not care about your retirement. They care about their profits. I am here to tell you the truth. And the truth is that retirees need to own silver right now, not later, not when it is convenient, now, because the window of opportunity is closing. Silver is still affordable. You can still get in at reasonable prices. But when the masses wake up to what is happening, when everyone starts rushing to buy physical silver, the price is going to explode. And if you wait until then, you are going to be paying 10 times what you could have paid today. This is not fear-mongering. This is reality. This is what happens in every single economic crisis throughout history. People panic. They rush to real assets. And the people who prepared early are the ones who survive. The people who waited are the ones who lose everything. So let me break down exactly why silver is in such a unique position right now. Because understanding this is the difference between just hoping things work out and actually taking control of your financial future. I am going to give you the facts that Wall Street does not want you to know. First, let us talk about supply. The silver mining industry is in trouble. These mines are not finding new deposits like they used to. The easy silver has already been mined. What is left is deeper, harder to extract, and more expensive to produce. And here is the thing, most silver does not even come from silver mines. About 70% of silver production is actually a byproduct of mining other metals like copper, lead, and zinc. So when those industries slow down, silver production slows down too. You cannot just turn on a silver mine like a light switch. It takes years and billions of dollars to develop new mining projects. At the same time, demand is going through the roof. The solar industry alone is consuming massive amounts of silver. Every single solar panel needs silver. And governments around the world are pushing green energy like never before. Electric vehicles need silver. The average electric car uses about 3 times more silver than a regular car. 5G technology, the network that is being built out right now, requires silver. Medical equipment, especially after what we have been through with global health crises, is using more silver than ever because of its antibacterial properties. And then you have got investment demand on top of all that industrial demand. People are scared. They see what is happening with inflation. They see what is happening with banks. They want something real. And silver is the affordable option. A regular person can go out and buy silver coins or bars without needing to be wealthy. That accessibility is driving demand from everyday investors all over the world. Now, here is where it gets really interesting for retirees specifically. You need to understand the gold to silver ratio. Throughout history, silver has traded at a certain ratio to gold. Sometimes it is 50 to 1, sometimes it is 80 to 1. Right now, even though the ratio has compressed from historical highs, silver is still incredibly undervalued compared to gold. When that ratio corrects, and it always does, silver does not just go up a little bit, it explodes. We have seen this pattern over and over again throughout history. But let me tell you what really matters to you as a retiree. It is not just about the price going up. It is about what silver represents. It is about having something that nobody can take away from you. When you own physical silver, you own it. It is not in some bank's computer system. It is not dependent on some company's stock price. It is real, tangible wealth that has been recognized as valuable for 5,000 years. Think about what is happening with the banking system right now. We have seen banks fail. We have seen depositors lose access to their money. We have seen bail-ins where the bank uses your deposits to cover their losses. Does that sound crazy? It has already happened in other countries. And the laws are in place for it to happen here too. When you have money in the bank, you are actually an unsecured creditor to that bank. That money is not really yours. It is a promise from the bank to pay you back. But when the bank gets in trouble, good luck getting your money out. Silver is different. When you hold physical silver, you are holding real money. No counterparty risk, no promises, just pure value. And for a retiree who cannot afford to lose what they have spent a lifetime building, that security is priceless. Now, I want to address something that I hear all the time. People say, Kevin, silver does not pay dividends. It does not generate income. Why would a retiree want something that does not produce cash flow? And that is a fair question. But here is what you need to understand. Silver is not supposed to replace all of your investments. It is insurance. It is protection. Would you complain that your homeowner's insurance does not pay you dividends? Of course not. You have insurance to protect your home. Silver is insurance to protect your wealth. And frankly, when inflation is running at real rates of 7, 8, 10% or more, your dividend-paying stocks are not protecting you either. If your stock pays a 3% dividend, but inflation is eating away 8% of your purchasing power, you are losing 5% a year. You are going backwards. Silver protects your purchasing power. That is its job. Let me give you a real-world example. Imagine you are retired and you have got $100,000 in savings. You are living on Social Security and maybe a small pension. That $100,000 is your emergency fund. It is your safety net. If you leave it in the bank, inflation is going to eat away at it every single year. In 5 years, that $100,000 might only have the purchasing power of $70,000 in today's money. You have just lost 30% of your wealth by doing nothing, but what if you took 20% of that $20,000 and you bought physical silver? You stored it safely, maybe in a home safe or a secure storage facility. Now, when inflation hits, when the dollar loses value, your silver maintains its purchasing power. In fact, it often increases in value during times of currency devaluation. So while your cash is shrinking, your silver is protecting you. That is diversification. That is real protection. And here is something else that retirees need to understand. You are at an age where you cannot take big risks. You cannot afford to gamble on some tech startup or some speculative investment. But you also cannot afford to do nothing. Doing nothing is a guaranteed loss because of inflation. Silver gives you a way to protect yourself without taking crazy risks. It has been around forever. It is not going anywhere. It is not some fly-by-night cryptocurrency or some company that might go bankrupt. It is a physical metal with thousands of years of history as money. Now let me talk about the elephant in the room, government policy. The people running our government, they are spending money like there is no tomorrow. We have got deficits that are absolutely out of control. We have got debt that is climbing into numbers that do not even make sense anymore. How do governments deal with too much debt? They print more money. They devalue the currency. They inflate their way out of the problem. And who gets hurt by that? You do. The retiree on a fixed income gets absolutely crushed. Your Social Security check might say the same number on it, but it buys less and less every single year. Your savings lose value. Your bonds lose value. Everything loses value except real assets. And silver is one of the best real assets you can own because it is affordable and it is liquid. You can sell silver anytime you want. Try selling your house in a weekend. Try selling your real estate investment quickly. With silver, you can go to a coin shop or an online dealer and turn it into cash almost immediately. The Federal Reserve, central banks around the world, they are trapped. They have got two choices. They can raise interest rates high enough to actually fight inflation, which would crash the economy and destroy the stock market. Or they can keep rates low and let inflation run hot, which destroys the currency. Either way, you lose if you are holding paper assets. But if you are holding real assets like silver, you are protected either way. And let me tell you something else. We are seeing a trend that is very concerning. Countries around the world are moving away from the dollar. They are making deals to trade in their own currencies. They are buying gold and silver to back up their monetary systems. When the dollar loses its status as the world reserve currency, and that day is coming, the value of the dollar is going to drop significantly. What does that mean for you? Everything you buy that is imported, which is almost everything, is going to get more expensive. Your dollars are going to buy less, but silver is priced globally. It is recognized everywhere. If you are holding silver when the dollar drops, you are protected. You can exchange that silver for whatever the new dominant currency is, or you can use it to buy things directly. Silver is universal money. It always has been and it always will be. I have been in business for a long time. I have invested in everything you can imagine. And I can tell you that right now, at this moment in history, silver is one of the most asymmetric opportunities available to regular people. What do I mean by asymmetric? I mean the downside is limited, but the upside is enormous. Silver is not going to zero. It is a physical metal with industrial uses and 5,000 years of monetary history. But the upside? If we see the kind of monetary crisis that I think is coming, silver could go up 5 times, 10 times, or even more. For a retiree, that kind of opportunity is rare. You are not looking to hit a home run. You are looking to protect what you have got and maybe grow it a little bit. Silver gives you that chance. You get protection from inflation, protection from currency devaluation, and the potential for significant gains if the market wakes up to how undervalued it really is. So now you understand why silver is critical. Now you understand the opportunity. But none of that matters if you do not take action. And this is where most people fail. They understand the problem. They see what is happening, but they do nothing. And let me tell you, doing nothing is the most expensive decision you can make right now. Here is what I want you to do. I am going to give you a practical game plan. This is not complicated. This is not some sophisticated investment strategy that requires you to be a Wall Street genius. This is simple, straightforward, and something you can start doing today. First, you need to decide how much of your portfolio should be in silver. Now, I am not a financial advisor, and I am not giving you personalized financial advice. But I can tell you what makes sense from a risk management perspective. If you are retired or close to retirement, you should be thinking about having somewhere between 10 and 20% of your investable assets in precious metals. And within that allocation, I would split it between gold and silver, with a heavier weight towards silver because of the upside potential we talked about. So if you have got $100,000 in savings and investments, you might put $10,000 to $20,000 into precious metals. And out of that, maybe $12,000 into silver and the rest into gold. That gives you serious protection without putting all your eggs in one basket. You still have the majority of your money in traditional investments, but now you have got a real insurance policy that actually works. Now, let us talk about how to buy silver. You have got a few options here, and you need to understand the pros and cons of each one. The first option is physical silver. This means actual coins and bars that you can hold in your hand. This is what I recommend for the core of your silver position. There is nothing like the feeling of holding real money in your hand. When you own physical silver, you own it outright. No counterparty risk, no middleman, it is yours. You can buy physical silver from reputable dealers. There are online dealers, there are local coin shops. Do your research. Look for dealers who have been in business for a long time and have good reputations. You want to buy recognized coins like American Silver Eagles, Canadian Silver Maple Leafs, or reputable bars from known mints. Do not buy some weird commemorative coin or some obscure bar from a company you have never heard of. Stick with the mainstream stuff because when it comes time to sell, you want something that everyone recognizes and trusts. Now, when you buy physical silver, you are going to pay a premium over the spot price. That is normal. The premium covers the cost of minting the coins or bars, the dealer's markup, and shipping. Premiums can vary, so shop around. but do not be so cheap that you end up buying from some sketchy dealer who sends you fake silver. Pay a fair premium and buy from someone reputable. Once you have got your physical silver, you need to store it safely. You have got two main options. You can store it at home or you can use a secure storage facility. If you store it at home, get a good safe, bolt it to the floor. Do not tell everyone you know that you have got silver sitting in your house. Keep it quiet. The fewer people who know, the better. Some people like to diversify their storage, keeping some at home for quick access and storing the rest in a secure facility. Secure storage facilities, sometimes called vaults, are another option. These are professional operations that specialize in storing precious metals. They have high security, they are insured, and they give you peace of mind. The downside is you have got to pay a storage fee, usually a small percentage of your holdings per year. But for some people, especially if you are holding a large amount, that fee is worth it for the security and insurance. Now, the second way to own silver is through silver ETFs, or exchange-traded funds. These are funds that hold physical silver and you buy shares of the fund. The advantage is that it is easy. You can buy and sell through your brokerage account. You do not have to worry about storage. The disadvantage is that you do not actually own physical silver. You own a paper claim on silver that the fund holds. And in a real crisis, when everyone is trying to redeem their shares at the same time, there can be problems. I'm not saying do not use ETFs. They can be part of your strategy, especially if you want exposure to silver in a retirement account like an IRA. But for your core holding, for the part of your silver that is really insurance, I want you to own the physical metal. Paper silver is not the same as real silver. There is also something called silver mining stocks. These are shares in companies that mine silver. When the price of silver goes up, these stocks can go up even more because the companies become more profitable. But they can also be more volatile and they come with company-specific risks. A mining company can have operational problems, management issues, all kinds of things that have nothing to do with the price of silver. If you want to own mining stocks, fine. But understand that they are a different animal than owning physical silver. Let me give you a strategy that makes sense for most retirees. Start with physical silver as your foundation. Buy coins and bars from a reputable dealer. Store them safely. That is your insurance policy. Then, if you want more exposure and you are comfortable with a bit more risk, you can add some silver ETFs in your brokerage account or maybe a small position in a well-run mining company. But physical first. Always physical first. Now, here is something critical. When you buy silver, you need to think long term. Do not buy silver thinking you are going to flip it next week for a quick profit. That is not what this is about. You are buying protection. You are buying insurance. You might hold this silver for 5 years, 10 years, or longer. And that is okay because the whole point is to protect your wealth over time. Silver can be volatile in the short term. The price goes up and down. There will be days when you look at the price and it is down and you think, oh no, I made a mistake. Do not panic. Remember why you bought it. You bought it to protect against inflation, currency devaluation, and systemic risk. Those things do not go away just because the silver price dipped for a few weeks. And let me tell you what is going to happen. At some point, maybe in a year, maybe in 3 years, there is going to be another crisis. There is going to be another bank failure or another inflation spike or some geopolitical event that scares the markets. And when that happens, people are going to rush into precious metals. They are going to panic buy, and the price of silver is going to shoot up. When that happens, you are going to be very happy that you bought when things were calm and prices were reasonable. This is what wealthy people do. They buy insurance before they need it. They do not wait until the house is on fire to buy fire insurance. They do not wait until the market crashes to protect their wealth. They prepare in advance, and that is exactly what you need to do right now. I also want to talk about something that does not get discussed enough, the psychological benefit of owning physical silver. When you own real money, when you can hold it in your hand, it gives you confidence. It gives you peace of mind. In a world where everything feels uncertain, where you are worried about inflation and banks and the government, having physical silver gives you a sense of control. You know that no matter what happens, you have got something real, something that cannot be printed away or confiscated with the click of a mouse. For retirees especially, that peace of mind is valuable. You have worked your whole life. You deserve to sleep well at night. You deserve to know that your savings are protected. Silver gives you that. Now, I want to address the people who are going to say, Kevin, I am too old for this. I do not have time for the silver price to go up. I need income now, and I get it. But you are thinking about this wrong. Silver is not about waiting for the price to go up. It is about not losing what you have got. If you are 70 years old and you have got $50,000 in the bank, inflation is going to eat that money alive over the next 10 years. But if you have got 10,000 of that in silver, you have protected 20% of your savings from being destroyed by inflation. That is huge. And here's the other thing. Silver is liquid. If you need money, you can sell your silver. You can turn it back into cash quickly. It is not locked up. It is not illiquid. You have control over it. So even if you are older, even if you think you might need that money soon, owning some silver still makes sense because it protects you while giving you flexibility. Let me wrap this up by telling you what is at stake here. We are living through a historic moment. The financial system is changing. The dollar is losing its dominance. Inflation is destroying purchasing power. And most people are sleepwalking through it. They are trusting that the government will fix it. They are trusting that the stock market will keep going up forever. They are trusting that their bank will always be there. But you and I know better. We know that trust is not a strategy. We know that hope is not a plan. We know that if you want to protect what you have earned, you have to take action. You have to be smart. You have to be proactive. Silver is not a magic solution. It is not going to make you rich overnight, but it is one of the best tools available to protect your wealth in an uncertain world. And for retirees, for people who cannot afford to lose what they have spent a lifetime building, that protection is absolutely critical. So here is what I want you to do right now. First, hit that like button. It tells me you are paying attention and it helps this message reach more people who need to hear it. Second, subscribe to this channel and become a member. We are building a community of people who understand what is happening and who are taking action to protect themselves. I need you to be part of that community. Third, go down to the comments and tell me, are you going to buy silver? Are you already holding silver? What is your biggest concern about retirement? I read the comments. I want to know what you are thinking. This is a conversation. We are in this together. And finally, take action. Do not just watch this video and then forget about it. Do something today. Research dealers, look at your portfolio. Figure out how much you can allocate to silver. Make a plan. Because every day you wait is another day that inflation is eating away at your savings. You have worked too hard to let it all slip away. You deserve to retire with dignity. You deserve to have financial security. And silver is one of the best ways to protect that security in the world we are living in right now. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of this community. And remember, the people who prepare are the people who survive. Do not be the person who looks back and wishes they had acted. Be the person who took control of their financial future. Now go out there and protect your wealth.